weight that you had to deal with when you were strapped in. You could also, I think, maybe even get unstrapped a little bit back in the days when you were flying. With the orange suit on, there's so much stuff that's hooked up to it, you can't do anything.
Strapped in until we were on orbit.
And last time I was out here, I was describing launch. I don't know if you've done that, John, what your sensations were, but I kind of went through the whole thing and what I was feeling. Vertical, that's when you come off the launch pad. And being a country boy from Wisconsin, where we had lots of gravel roads with lots of potholes in the spring, it kind of felt like you were driving down that in an old truck, bouncing all over the place in those potholes, because the solid rockets don't burn evenly, and it really causes you to bounce around during that first couple of minutes. Tank, we have 500,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen. We burn it at a rate of 1,000 gallons a second. Now, I know fuel prices have gone down a little bit, but at $2 a gallon, that's still a lot of fuel that we're burning up. For those that can't see a screen, we're at 145 to launch.
Straight ahead. See the shuttle on the screen?
All rocket booster cameras have been activated. Handoff to Atlantis has occurred from the ground launch sequencer.
I was wondering why I got so comfortable.
Nozzle check of the SRBs, firing chain is armed, down pressure water system armed. T-minus 10,
No, I can't. I'm not
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Director of our universe. The burnout of the twin solid rocket boosters, which have been burning fuel at a rate of about 11,000 pounds per second. Solid rocket boosters have done their job. Atlantis is continuing in its due easterly course to catch up with the Hubble Space Telescope one last time. Altitude 35 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 51 miles, altitude 195,000 feet. Atlantis is traveling 3,300 miles per hour. Again, all three main engines are in good shape. Approaching 4 minutes into the flight. Altitude 310,000 feet, downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
And for Ray J, you can disregard STS-125 on the left.
Copy, disregard STS-125 on the left. That call.
Press to ATO.
Those calls indicate that Atlantis can reach orbit on 2 engines should one fail. Again, all 3 are in good shape. The calls that you're hearing are related to a STAD transducer only. The systems are in good shape. Atlantis is 208 miles away from the Kennedy.